Hello everyone, and welcome to the Lemon Live Microplay Festival, Volume 2. This is the second day of performances on May 17th, and this is produced by Lemon Punch Theater Lab. Enjoy! So hello and welcome everybody to the Lemon Live Microplay Festival, Volume 2, Performance 2, and we're going to begin. You're seeing on the screen everybody is one at a time taking their video out so that we can have this, just the performers who are performing. So let's see. Denise, can you turn off your camera? Can you hit stop video down next to your mute button? Is that something that you can do? If you do that, then you will vanish out of the playing space. Fantastic. So I am going to take my video off as well, and there I go. And I am going to do introductions to each play as well as stage directions. And one other note I just wanted to say, based on learning from Tuesday night for all of the performers, I'm going to read as few stage directions as necessary. I saw you guys beginning to act with your bodies on Tuesday, and a couple times I jumped on you saying a stage direction when you were already doing the action. So if you don't hear me reading the stage direction and it's something you can do with your body, go ahead and do that. All right, thank you so much. And we begin with Someone to Hold by Elly Berke. So female roommates in their early 30s quarantined together in a small apartment. Andy is a golem made from 21st century privileged detritus, an Amazon box, kombucha bottles, a compost bucket, an Ivy League sweatshirt. From Wikipedia, in Jewish folklore, a golem is an animated anthropomorphic being that is created entirely from inanimate matter, usually clay or mud.
Rebecca, what is that?
What? Where?
That thing on the couch. It looks like my brother, but also like garbage. And is that my sweatshirt?
Oh, God. I didn't remember actually finishing him.
Him?
It's, he's, Gollum. Don't worry about it.
What the hell is a golem? And are you going to clean it up?
It's, his name is Andy. He's a being, but with, no soul. It's a Jewish thing. I've been single for so long. I thought it might be funny to
create a soulless being to be your boyfriend?
Plant me one, honey.
Your golem...
Andy.
Fine, Andy. Is an old-timey romantic?
I guess. I couldn't choose his speech patterns.
Give me some sugar, sweetheart. Rub your feet. Change your oil. Want a seltzer, doll face?
Oh, good grief. I'm sorry. I'll dissemble him.
No. Wait. Andy, can you vacuum?
Michelle and Andy walk off embracing. Rebecca is dumbfounded. End of play. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! Awesome. Excellent. Yay! Great work. Yay! Okay, thank you so much. So here we go. Out again. Next up is Doubles for Three by Sandra Smith. And hold on one moment. Sush, can you turn your video off? I love seeing you, but can you stop video? There we go. All right, Doubles for Three by Sandra Smith. Friend 1 and Friend 2 are seated at an outdoor casual eatery, sipping coffees. Friend 3 enters the stage to join them, but stops short to eavesdrop when she hears the topic of their conversation.
I don't get depression.
You mean you don't get depression, or do you mean you don't get depression?
Huh? I mean, I don't understand the condition.
What's to understand? You're either clinically depressed or you're not.
Well, take friend 3. She's been on antidepressants for 2 decades, but she still can't describe how depression feels in a way that makes me feel it.
Well, if you could feel exactly what she feels, then you would indeed get depression, wouldn't you?
I'm pretty sure that's not how one gets depression.
Anyway, friend 3's medication list is a yard long. If she could only exercise and meet up more regularly, friend 3 would not be so depressed.
Friend 3 approaches. She stops and stands behind the table between the 2 seated friends.
Well, I wouldn't be so depressed if I could just exercise and meet up more, now would I?
Friend 3 exits in a flounce. End of play. Yay! Yay! Most excellent, most excellent. And here we go, and out again. You guys are just brilliant at this, jumping in and applauding for each other and then jumping out. Ego and Chaos by Matt Cogswell.
I can't believe she actually wants to produce this.
It's good content.
But I hate that so much of the show is practically autobiographical.
That's what she responded to.
Not doing the show live in front of an audience, it seems so anticlimactic after the preview.
That is your ego talking. Look, she knows what she's doing. Don't be intimidated to move out of your small pond. She could really help you.
It's going to be so much work to film this.
Who have you become? The artist I knew 20 years ago would have been all over this challenge.
You must be Amy?
Pauline, you need to unmute.
Don't know if I must be, but I am.
Of course you are. I know you are. I don't even know why I said that. Oh my God. I sound like a moron. This is not the version of me I wanted you to see.
It's infinitely more interesting.
I'm not sure how to take that from someone I just met.
Didn't I tell you he was charming?
Truth hurts.
Shall we talk about creating some art out of this chaos we know?
It is the world we know.
End of play. Yay! Yay! Matt, good job. Readers, good job. Excellent. Good clapping, too. All right. Next up, It's Him by Jayne Hanna. Sorry, Dina. Yep, go ahead.
It is not him.
It's him from Days of Our Lives.
Why would he be here in a cafe in Massachusetts? They film in Hollywood.
Maybe he's on vacation.
He looks nothing like him. He's shorter.
They're always shorter in real life. They stand on boxes for the cameras.
And look at his hair.
Maybe it's a wig. You know, he'd wear a wig if he wanted to be incognito.
He'd stay home if he wanted to be incognito. He's coming over. How embarrassing.
Oh.
Hello, ladies.
Well, I wasn't staring. She was.
I think you're wonderful. You're much better looking in person.
She didn't mean that. I mean,
No.
did. You did. You are. You.
Have you decided what you'd like from the menu? We have a special cheese sandwich that would be lovely with a glass of rosé.
You don't have to buy us lunch.
Well, I wasn't going to buy you lunch, but I do have to take your order.
You work here, don't you?
I'm the manager.
See, I told you.
Being an actor, he must need 2 jobs. Bless him.
End of play. Excellent. Yay. Yay. Love that one. I love them all, and they're all so different. Yay. Okay. Now, change of tone. We have repeat offender, Norma Jenkes. All right, well, let Steve get ready. At rise, 2 women are standing in an old historic cemetery and raking leaves on a sunny spring day in late April.
It's so peaceful here. Trees leafing out, the sky blue and filled with wispy clouds.
It looks peaceful. You'd not believe what goes on here. It's a gorgeous ruin.
I don't like that word. It's a hallowed spot.
Not so hallowed to all the thieves that have stolen.
It's amazing monuments and urns. Is that why you call it a ruin?
Yes, ravaged with thefts. Some use it for drug drops or their prostitute hookups. You wouldn't believe.
Hundreds of Civil War dead buried here. The immense sacrifices they made. How did it come to this?
Oh my God. Speak of the devil. Who is this?
An older man enters with a grocery cart. Propped in it is a young woman who is dazed and drugged.
Where are you going? Get out. This is a private cemetery.
The man ignores her and pushes on.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He pulled her out of the cart, pulling her pants down, pushing her over that low wall.
I'm going to video this.
Oh, he's on top of her. Oh.
We hear a woman's high-pitched scream.
Stop!
Why? You jealous? You want some?
Yes, officer. A rape is going on right now in the cemetery. We're near the gatehouse. I have it on video. They'll make a good arrest with this video.
We hear police sirens.
Oh, at least we have evidence. You know, maybe we should install some surveillance cameras.
End of play. Excellent. Next, we have Fox by Terry Farrish.
Fox came out on a chilly night, prayed to the moon to give him light. You can see me, Johnny. I know you can, because you answered.
Where are you? I hear somebody clicking on the keyboard.
At school? Your mommy used to sing that song to you. What were you, 2?
Why are you calling, Lila?
I was remembering the Fox song.
Don't do this.
I liked how your mama sang that song. Town-o, town-o. Your mama, she loved you.
Second boy, Rennie, stands up from a desk behind Lila.
Go back to whoever you're with. Go type your paper, schoolgirl.
I'm not with anybody.
I'm not anybody.
Got me on my knees, Lila.
No, please. Meet Rennie. Rennie, meet Johnny. I couldn't do it.
If it was me, I'd want you to tell me if there might have been a kid.
If it was me, I'd sing to it. So, like, he knows. Like his mom loved him.
End of play. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Oh, let me just pause to admit someone. That sounds so profound. I must admit someone. Okay. Next up is going to be Metamorphosis by Dina Crawford. The characters are 1, 2, and Lee. Oh, let me take myself out because I'm not one of them. 1 and 2 sit facing a wall with puzzled, horrified, incredulous looks on their faces.
What was he thinking?
It's
grotesque.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
A cockroach?
Do cockroaches have wings?
I don't know. I try not to get that close.
Maybe it's a fanciful creature.
Fanciful?
Yeah, you know how he is.
What? Bizarre?
Well, you know, creative.
I'd call this creativity run amok.
What should we do?
Call Dr. Phil. Ask him, what do you do when your roommate has run amok?
You serious? What do we do? I can't live with this.
No, it's not starting to grow on you.
Hey, guys. So what do you think?
We're wondering what it is.
Isn't it obvious?
I just don't understand why you did it. The landlord is going to be furious.
Oh, no, I asked her. She said I could paint.
You asked her if you could paint that?
Not specifically. I said I'd like to paint, and she said, have at it.
I don't think this is exactly what she had in mind.
What? You don't like it?
Well, it's so big. Kind of overwhelming.
You'd rather if it were life-sized?
I think what we're trying to say is we don't like it.
Oh.
Sorry to hurt your feelings.
That's okay. I can change it. Hey, what if I made it into a cockroach?
End of play. Woohoo!
Yay! Yay!
Somebody was saying to me the other day, Sandy Smith, one of our playwrights, was saying that she was surprised that all the playwrights come up with such incredibly different things from these prompts. And that reminded me, I just remembered now, Sandy saying, yeah, I know. Just for those of you who are visiting for the first time today and who are wondering what the pattern is here, I should have told you what the prompt was. It was simply write a play around 200 words where there are 2 characters talking about a third and then the third enters. And so we have this incredible diversity. And coming up next, I'll take my video out, is Sorority by, here we go, Sorority by Mary Downs. A restaurant. Betsy and Jill sit across from each other waiting for their friend Joanne. The 3 women were friends in college, and though Jill and Joanne have remained close in the ensuing decades, Betsy has only recently reconnected on social media.
I can't believe Bob has cancer.
Who's Bob?
Joanne's brother.
Oh, no, it's Gary who has cancer. Joanne's older brother.
I was sure it was Bob.
It's Gary, believe me. Oh God, I hope she doesn't cancel again. She's like 15 minutes late already.
She is always late.
I just want her to take some time for herself.
Well, it's not like she has to take care of Bao, and he has a wife after all.
Yes, but Gary, the one with cancer, does not. Plus, Joanne's husband is also unwell.
Unwell?
I'll let her tell you. He's just stressed.
Ha, here she is. Look who shed a few pounds. You look great.
Hey, Jilly, Betsy. It's been too long.
I am so sorry about Gary. And now Jill tells me that Brian is sick too?
I said he was stressed, not sick.
You said unwell.
Well, he is unwell, but I don't want to talk about any of that. Let's order.
Let's have a cocktail. Yeah.
Betsy, for God's sake, we're not having cocktails.
End of play. Woo. Good job. Good job, Mary, and all of our lovely readers. Thank you so much. All right. Next up, we have Missing the Forest for the Trees by K.K. Mason. 3 generations hold a brief outdoor Zoom call from their respective decks. Grandmother Sarah talks with daughter Rebecca while she waits to say hi to her granddaughter Lily. The women are taking a break from planting spring flowers. A stay-in-place has been in effect for several weeks.
We were a busy little gardener at Lily's age, walking around, admiring growing things.
Well, Lily actually gets her hands dirty helping me plant hyacinths. I'm at 5. She knows what makes flowers grow.
But does she know where the bloom comes from?
Well, she waters them, helps Daddy work the fertilizer into the soil.
One day I saw you stoop down on your haunches, getting a closer look at some sprouts, in a place you'd thrown apple seeds the week before. They grew, you said, with such satisfaction in your voice.
Lily's spending hours making things with her Legos. Oh, can you tell Grandma what you did today? We added 3 new sets of Legos to that old case of mine that you sent us last month.
Yeah, Daddy and me made a fort with a drawbridge, and there
you
was
already told Grandma about that one, remember? Tell her what you made today.
As I was saying about those trees you thought you planted and all the other ones that have grown up since, behind them, there's a house. In winter, I see it clearly. The leaves just camouflage it, the view during every other season of the year.
Sorry.
Love you lots, Grandma.
Mwah.
And the Zoom scene freezes. End of play. Most excellent. You guys are making me feel all the feels here, for sure. Yes. Next up is Shih Tzu by Joshua Faigen. An old woman and old man sit on opposite ends of a bench, backs to the audience. They are at the beach. When they speak, each turns to face the other. They sit for a long time before speaking.
I was just thinking.
Be quiet, please.
Could we hold a moment? Everyone hold. Hi, Martha. I'm glad you're here. I just admitted Martha. She came, believe it or not, from another festival. Martha, could you take your camera out? Stop video. And what's genius about 1 minute plays is we can do them over again because we've got time to do that. So let's go back to the very beginning. I will set the scene again for my lovely actors for this contemplative play. Shih Tzu by Joshua Faigen. An old woman and old man sit on opposite ends of a bench, backs to the audience. They are at the beach. When they speak, each turns to face the other. They sit for a long time before speaking.
I was just thinking.
Oh, be quiet, please.
Do you remember the bracelet I gave you? The silver one?
All those years ago?
All those years ago.
Yes. I remember. I lost it.
What?
I left it in a bathroom at one of those highway rest stops.
Oh. Did
my husband? No. He never knew where it came from.
That's not what I was going to say. You stopped writing to me.
I just didn't have anything to say after a while.
Well, I understand that.
No, you don't.
I still love you.
The woman turns to face the man. She reaches across the empty space between them and gently strokes his face.
You didn't shave this morning.
A young woman enters far upstage. She suddenly stops and turns to face the couple.
Do you know that woman?
No. Do you?
No.
I'm sorry to bother you, but have you seen my dog?
What kind of dog?
A little Shih Tzu?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Thanks.
The young woman exits.
I brought a bagel and cream cheese. Would you like half?
Yes, please.
End of play. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! And thank you so much for rolling with that when we did the restart. This is what I love about keeping it a little bit informal so we can keep the focus on the plays and the performances. Okay, fantastic. So our next play is Talking to No One by Cass Lang. Let me take myself out. Everybody who's not in this will take their video out. Person 1 and 2 sit together on a park bench and observe a woman. They whisper to each other audibly as she speaks, so the dialogue is overlapping. She is dressed in a white jumpsuit. She is in a park much like the Boston Common. A large water feature, ducks, trees, flowers.
What's this all about?
Josh, you need to All right, let's go back and take it from Tomer's line. Go ahead.
Sorry.
What's this all about?
Another artist. Rambling?
Should is the way other people prefer you to live your life. Would is the way you'd live if you stopped caring what others thought. Could is the ability to live the life you would at any time.
Ah, how to live rambling. I need more of that in my life.
I know, I'm so sick of people thinking they're smarter than everyone else.
There are ducks on the water. There are clouds in the sky. It's remarkable. Water isn't solid, but it supports the ducks. The sky isn't solid, but its interparticulate forces support the clouds. The whole world works because of things we can't see.
I bet she's going to coo at the grass next.
Who's she even talking to? There's no one around.
Do you feel the breeze? Life is like that little burst, sending movement and animation into everything.
No one, I don't think.
Josh, are you there?
Oh, she does this a couple times a week, I've heard. Just comes and talks out loud.
Does anyone ever ask her questions?
Would you talk to a crazy person?
It takes great courage to do what others will not.
Don't you think it's a waste?
What?
Talking to no one all the time?
I don't know, she seems...
You've heard every word.
End of play. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay, and thank you. All right. Next up is Unstable Connection by Monica Staaf. What?
Sarah.
Hello. Where's Dad?
He's having computer trouble. He'll be here.
Let's just call him.
Dad wants to see us for the anniversary.
Michaels.
You didn't forget, did you? It's the 10th anniversary today. Don't tell Dad that. It's hard enough to be cooped up at home.
It's his choice to keep reminders of Michael everywhere. It's morbid.
That's cold.
It's true.
I think he's really trying. He said he has a surprise for us.
What?
He's been sorting through everything. He's filled 8 trash bags so far.
You don't think that...
What's left? Mom moved almost everything else to Florida.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, I'm here.
How are you?
There's a message that my my screen is connection is unstable.
You might lose your video.
Dad, how is the cleaning going?
Oh, very, very well.
I thought it might be hard for you.
Well, it needed to be done.
Oh, Dad.
Well, let me show you what I found. So I decided to vacuum Michael's room, and I found this underneath the rug. Look, can you see that? You see it? Yeah. So it's a sign to find this today. I'm going to have it enlarged and send a copy to each of you.
He's frozen.
We all are.
End of play. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh,
Yeah, so nice.
so moving, so lovely. And I love the unstable connection theme. Next, we have The Intervention by Elaine Brousseau, and I have to take myself out of this. So both Janine and Marcia are visible on their separate screens.
So, you got it? When she gets on, you know what to say?
Dina, hold, Dina. Great. Let's go back and start from the beginning. That's okay. That is okay.
So, you got it? When she gets on, you know what to say?
I'll bring it up casually and then you'll take over.
That's the plan.
Right.
What?
I'm not sure about this.
What do you mean?
I don't want her to be mad at me or us.
Look, Allison called me, and when my niece calls me crying, it's serious. We have to make Cheryl see Charlie can't just be left out. Wait, you gonna bail on me? Where'd you go? Hello?
I'm not. I'm just getting a glass of wine. I'm ready, but first, can I...
Cheryl!
Hello, Cheryl.
You guys? Oh, this is so great. We haven't talked, the three of us, in a while. I miss you.
It's you. I see Janine all the time, but...
I am in a panic lately about the wedding. You know, it's going to happen with people there. And then Charlie is being such a jerk. No surprise there.
Charlie's being a jerk?
He wants this big part of it, and I'd rather not be there at all.
Well, but shouldn't Charlie be part of...
I want it to be special for Allison. I don't want him spoiling it.
I mean, he is the father of the bride.
Wait. Are you trying to tell me?
Oh, it will be special, sweetie. It will be.
Yeah, don't be upset. We know you'll make it so nice.
You guys, you are the best sisters.
End of play. Yay! Yay! Amazing how you packed so much into so few words. Fantastic. Okay. Next up, Our Mom's Birthday by Tomer Oz. As everybody goes out, taking your videos out, everybody, except for 1 and 2, we're talking online.
So, did you tell her?
No, of course not. I thought you were going to.
Come on, we decided last time that you were going to tell her we weren't coming.
I don't remember that.
You specifically said you were going to.
I definitely remember you saying that you were going to.
Well, I never did.
Well, neither did I.
So...
Yeah.
It's our mom's birthday, and we haven't talked to her in over a week.
And we didn't get her anything.
She's going to be very upset.
You know she's going to be here any second.
Yeah, I know.
So what are we going to say?
Hi, kids.
Hi, Mom. Happy birthday.
Hi, Mom. Happy birthday. I love you.
Oh, come on, you guys.
We're sorry we can't make it.
Sweethearts, it's not even my birthday. Look, I just stopped by to say a quick hello because I have to go for a walk with the neighbors. Love you. Talk soon.
Well.
Yeah.
That was different.
It certainly was.
I gotta go too. Talk soon?
Yeah. Wait. When is her birthday? find out for next time.
Wait, why me?
Just do it.
Fine. Bye.
Bye.
Yay! End of play. Excellent. Yay! I love that one. I love them all.
Ooh, thank you, guys.
I love these contrasts as we go through. Okay, next one, very close to my heart. I've Got a Yen by Leslie Pasternack. An exam room in an oncology unit. Miriam, 40s, accompanies Etta in her 70s for a checkup.
Oh, it's cold in here.
It's always cold in here, isn't it? The sun is nice coming in that window, though.
I really love Dr. Phineas.
I know, Mom. He's a dish.
He is a dish. I have a real yen for him.
Of course. He's a nice man and he has a good head of hair. What's not to like?
His hands are always warm. I feel so cold all the time.
Put your fleece on, Mom. That's why we brought it.
Why? Well, I'm just going to get undressed again for Dr. Phineas.
Well, let that thought warm your heart then.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
We're doing pretty well.
And hello, Etta. How are you? Tell me.
Mom?
I'm so glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you too, Etta.
End of play. Thank you so much, you beautiful readers. Thank you so much. Woohoo, woohoo. Yay. Thank you. Excellent. All right, we're in the home stretch. A marvelous play coming up. Touched by Kevin C. Groppe. So, Reverend Luke's church office, a blend of the traditional and modern that can be afforded by a well-established, prosperous church. Reverend Luke is in a Zoom conference with Anne. Anne is on his screen.
The virtual deacons meeting was very spirited, Anne. I wouldn't call it contentious. We have tough decisions to make about how to proceed during this COVID-19 isolation.
You know I don't suffer fools well. Michael suggesting we just get back to the sanctuary.
Like many, he misses the fellowship.
Oh, because he left his wife and children, probably to play around. And now he feels the consequences.
People in pain express grief in different ways.
He's just spoiled. He needs a good talking to, like that jogger without the mask who came so close to me on the path today. I gave him a piece of my mind about social distancing.
People make choices. We are all trying to cope. As a trained minister, I want to run towards problems, but not being able to be with parishioners in the hospital or their families.
Well, you need to keep yourself safe. We all depend on you, including Elizabeth and Jesse.
There is a knock on the door, and then Michael enters distraught without waiting for reply.
Who is that?
I shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. I made a terrible mistake.
Aren't you in your office?
I'm all alone.
It's not wise.
This hurts so much.
As Michael slides down to the floor weeping, Luke stands and hesitates. He has a choice to make.
Tell him to get out of there! The nerve of it!
Luke shuts his laptop, which cuts off Anne. He walks over to Michael and takes him in his arms and holds him. End of play. So lovely.
Mm.
Strings by Martha Douglas-Osmundson.
I knew you wouldn't tell her. What kind of a friend are you?
Did you see? I think he sent her flowers at work today. He was hanging out outside her office while she opened the card.
I saw. That's why I asked her to come over tonight.
What?
An intervention.
But...
It was a test, Marnie, and you failed.
You enjoy manipulating people.
I wouldn't have to manipulate anyone if they would just get some common sense. There she is. Callie!
Hi! Hey, Marnie. I didn't know you were going to be here. So, where's the furniture you need moved? Must be big if you need all three of us.
Actually, we have to talk.
How did I not see this coming?
Hear us out. Benny's cheating on you.
I know.
You do? For how long?
How long has he been cheating, or how long have I known?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
But the flowers. I thought it was...
To try to win you back.
I sent those to myself to drive him crazy.
Is it working?
Please, I'll change.
You think that's funny?
Yeah, sure.
But it's so...
manipulative. I learned from the best, Mom.
End of play. Woohoo! A nice laugh out of that one. Excellent. Next up, we have Brainstorms by Rachael Longo. Okay. Rowan, can you take yourself out? There we
go. Can I spend some time with your mom in the morning?
Yes, of course. Just be warned, she gets up really early, so no more sleeping in on Saturdays for me.
Yikes. Well, wake me whenever. You think she'll remember me?
Some days she doesn't even know who I am. It's sometimes even moment to moment now.
Well, at least we'll be in the same boat. I don't remember her either.
Are you sure you're up for this? It hasn't been that long since the accident.
It's been 2 years. I'm fine. And I don't have a choice. This is the assignment. You should go to bed. You must be so tired.
Yes, I really am. Let me know if you need anything. I made up the guest bed and there are clean towels in the closet next to your room.
Great. Thanks, Al. I really appreciate all this.
Oh, and one more thing. My mom sometimes wanders out of bed at night, so don't be alarmed if you see her, or try not to be. It scares me to death.
Shit, that's freaky, Alice. I mean, sorry. This must be really hard.
Thanks. Just come get me if it happens.
I definitely will.
Caroline goes to Alice and hugs her. Alice willingly receives the hug and the warmth of the gesture. Alice exits. Caroline stands alone in the kitchen. She fiddles with her necklace for a moment and then goes to leave as Ruth enters in her nightgown and slippers. She's looking for something. Caroline turns back and sees Ruth.
Oh, God. Sorry. Ruth, I'm sorry if I scared you. My name is Caroline. I'm a friend of Alice's. I'm here to visit.
Do you work here? I need to find my robe. I'm cold. Have you seen my robe?
I can help you look. Should I go get Alice?
Annie? What? How? Oh God, my Annie.
Ruth grabs a hold of Caroline and crumples into her. She continues to whimper and mumble Annie. Alice runs on.
Mom, what are you doing? This is my friend, Caroline. Please, Mom, let me take you back to bed.
Who's Annie?
Annie is was my sister. She died 15 years ago.
End of play. All right. Next up, the penultimate play, Whinging, by Sandra Smith and Leslie Pasternack. Two women enter and face the audience.
Who are you talking to on your computer?
Woman 2 glances in the direction of man's voice, then faces front again.
What dark Scandinavian narratives are guiding you through this troubling time?
There's nothing there. It has been 5 days since my last watching.
Well, I dreamed I went to a public bathroom and there was a flourless chocolate torch in the toilet paper dispenser.
Wowza. That's a thing. I forgot I have some really great books, so there is that. Winning.
Nice. My quiet time now has an 18-hour background discord of laugh track, applause, breaking news, and sentences that make no sense.
My default state is now fretful and peevish. I should be preparing the garden, but it's cold, windy, and it hurts.
Well, the sun has finally arrived, and I want to collapse in a puddle of tears because it won't stay.
Who are you emailing so intently?
I could never be a good Christian with people like them in the world.
End of play. Woohoo! And a special shout out to my partner in writing, Sandra Smith, on that one. Thank you so much, actors. And now, to bring it on home, we have Blindly Zooming. Hold on a moment. We have Blindly Zooming. Wait 1 moment, you blind Zoomers. All right, so at Scene Rise, we see 2 characters, separate Zoom screens. Hillary's waiting, examining the screen, adjusting herself, etc., and waits.
Hello? Sam? Can you get stood up on a Zoom date? That'd be bad. Hello?
Oh, hi. Hey, you're already here. Sorry. Hi, I had to get the takeout guy. He was here. So, you're Hillary, right?
Yeah, that's me. And you must be Sam?
That I am. Sam, I am.
I guess that means you're a Sam, not a Samuel?
Oh, yeah. Sam, no Samuel. Zecca Fernarelli was already a mouthful, and there were a lot of us, so my parents kept it simple. Sam, Gio, John, Chris, and Frank. And Leah, she got an extra syllable because she was the baby and a girl. How about you? Are you Hill or Hillary?
Oh, Hillary, always Hillary. And there's just... Oh, no, don't wait. Go ahead. Mine's going to be here in a minute. My roommate's a Gio. What did you get?
Thai, curry.
Oh, hey, me too. Tofu.
Really? Same, you vegetarian?
Yeah.
Can you believe we're doing this?
No, I mean, a blind date is weird.
Mhm.
And a blind date through the newspaper, super weird. But then on Zoom, I thought they'd cancel.
Yeah, but when they didn't, I figured it was already weird, so what the hell?
Same. I mean, the whole world is weird now, right? Why not try something? So, how is it for you? Are you working? Well, I mean, remotely. Or do you, what do you do? Oh, hold on, that's my takeout. Oh, hey.
Hey!
Hey!
Hey! You're the roommate?
You're the blind date?
Is this a joke?
Oh, hey, sorry, Sam, this is my roommate, Gio.
Yeah, my brother.
And we thought this couldn't get any weirder?
End of play. Excellent. End of show. Woohoo! That was so wonderful. I loved it. And we have been seeing some great comments coming in chat. And because we moved right along, I would love the opportunity to do a talk back, a Q&A if we can. I had some requests after last Tuesday to see if there was more of an opportunity for the playwrights to talk about their inspiration in their writing. And I wanted to offer to you folks that if you click at the bottom next to your chat, if you click on the participants pane, you should see come up on the side an opportunity to raise hand. And Monica is raising hand right now, so I'm going to jump in there. Now, I'm trying to look at all of you on my screen, so if you've had your hand up for a while and I forget to call on you or don't see you, please just jump in, just unmute and jump in. So here we go. Monica, please start us off.
Oh, I didn't mean to raise my hand, but if you want me to, I can.
You did.
Do you want to talk about my play at all, or what? Just comment on the whole festival?
Whatever strikes you. What are you thinking right now?
Okay, well, this is the first festival I've attended like this, and I thought it was really great. It was really, I think it took a lot of creativity on the part of the actors and you, Leslie, to just kind of stage it in this format and still capture everyone's attention.
And how did you find writing from the prompt? Did you enjoy that?
It was a really good challenge, put it that way.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I'm one of those people who has ideas come to me like a fire hydrant. They're just kind of gushing, gushing, gushing. So you kind of help this help me narrow that on to get something on the page.
Indeed.
So, yeah, thank you though.
Excellent. Who else would like to share impressions of things that you thought really stood out at you from this, performances that you enjoyed, moments of the scripts that you enjoyed, or what it was like to write? Kevin, yes.
So I tend to write too much dialogue, too many words, and so this was very helpful to not write a lot of words. And also this time I did not watch it on speaker view, which made a big difference.
Yeah.
Because then I could see the people bigger and I could see my wonderful actors who did an incredible job, and I could really appreciate them more before they were in and out and that sort of thing. It is hard to do some of the things that a play does with live characters when they're supposed to be in the same space and there's supposed to be that energy and interaction. But I think this was a great experiment, and like so many things that we were doing on the internet now, the next one you see, like as opposed to last time, the next one is so much better in terms of the learning curve and understanding what it needs to be. I'm afraid in the theater we'll be stuck with something like this for a while. And so all of you, especially Leslie, thank you so much for this experiment, because there were many wonderful things.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I'm seeing a thumbs up from Martha. And yeah, we're all discovering right now what it means to continue to make theater. Some of you who've known me before know that I don't necessarily gravitate to the idea of writing microplays and putting on a microplay festival back when we have the option of digging in to do more. But this seemed like it was a perfect little morsel for us to keep our creative juices going. And exactly as Kevin said, this was a format for us to just experiment with. All of you who wrote had different images in your mind of what it would mean to stage something on Zoom. And all of you who performed, thank you so much for the preparation that you put into it. This was inherently unrehearsed, but the actors were given the opportunity to read over or even reach out to each other if they wanted to. And you all made such beautiful decisions about how you were going to interact with the camera. You create a sense of interacting with each other. So this is an experiment that we were really learning together, and I'm hoping to do some more long-form experimentation moving forward through Lemon Punch Theater Lab, my studio. But this has been as much of a learning experiment and a gift from you to me as it has been from me to you. Can I hear from some actors what it was like to be acting in this format? Scott Sullivan, I'm going to pick on you because you I gave you a lot of different roles and you brought so many different things to them in different preparation. I know you have a lot of acting experience, but what has it been like for you in the Zoom era doing this?
It was a lot of fun. And rehearsing really made a big difference. Just the other actors had different ideas. Even on Kevin's piece, Michelle, who was in it last time, had some ideas about the character that I hadn't even thought about, which just enhanced it. So I just think I would love to do this again. It was a blast. And also as a writer, even though I didn't write in this, seeing so many of these great actors, it's a real benefit. You know what I mean? Because I want to cast like pretty much everyone who's, you feel like you want to cast these people. So hopefully that helps in the future as well.
Yeah, and just seeing how much can be accomplished with so very little, 200 words or less, plus some stage directions and Zoom, each in your own spaces. It is inspiring to the next creative act. Rowan, what were you going to say?
It was a very interesting exercise to do this. I just thought it was very sort of like I'm not used to this at all. It's always like being on a stage on in front of an entire audience, and I thought it was just very interesting to do it just over Zoom, where you can only see the other two people that you're with. And I also thought it was an interesting, I'm not a writer and I didn't write any of the plays, but I thought it was an interesting exercise for the writers too, to just there's 200 words and that's all you can have. And I thought it was very interesting to just sort of act as that and sort of put your own spin on the characters, even though you have very little dialogue to actually work with.
Yeah, excellent. Dina, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I enjoyed writing for it. It's funny, I emailed Leslie to ask her a question about the prompt, and then before she could even get back to me, which she got back to me very quickly, the play just kind of fell out. So I don't know what to say about that process, but that's really fun to have it work that way. What's interesting to me is two things. One is the actors, some of the plays are set up to be on Zoom and some of them aren't. And I love how the actors are using the medium differently, but also very well depending on which way it's coming up. So that's very cool. The other thing is, as an audience member, I found myself a little bit frustrated when I was laughing at something that was happening in the play, and I wanted the actors to hear it. So there's no way I don't think there's a way to get around it, because it would be crazy to have everything wide open. But it's interesting just to notice that as an audience, you love having that energy of interacting.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know that many of you who are gathered here have been exploring some Zoom theater in different settings. or are just used to using Zoom on meetings. And we're all kind of encountering that audio is one of the trickiest things in terms of, for instance, wanting to add sound design and voice at the same time. That's a challenge that we still haven't all conquered yet. And this idea of wanting to have laughter and applause spontaneously. In small groups, we can play with that, but when it starts to factor up this big, it becomes a little disruptive. So that's why, and I appreciate your going along with it with me, I decided that we would try having the applause moment or this moment after each and every one of the plays. In my experience participating in playwriting festivals, sometimes the playwrights get a little lost in the shuffle because of the excitement of what the actors are doing, and because the director or the MC is commanding attention to herd the cats. And so I thought that that applause was a way to honor the performances, but also the playwrights. So we're continuing to learn there. Rowan, did you have another comment? I see your hand again.
I'd kind of like to talk about that same point from the actor's perspective. I was sort of like, because it is like when you're on stage, you always have the audience of like you have direct and immediate feedback. If you're saying some line that's really funny or something like that, and the audience just laughs. But in this, like it's a lot harder. You're like, you say something and you're like, did that land? I can't. I mean, it's interesting for me because my sister was in the other room and she was laughing at a lot of the things that I said, but it's just like there's a lot less sort of like if there's some line, like I can't, like it's not like the entire audience cracks up or something like that. It's like I can't really, I don't know what the people's reactions are to the lines that I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a bit of a vacuum there. I'd love to hear from some of the other actors too. It's not just about laughter. Sometimes the quality of attentive hush that you have when people are listening, that's also something that's missing. So I'm putting that out there, but I just noticed that Mary, Rowan and Haley's mom, who also Mary wrote Sorority, I want to give a shout out before I call on her, a shout out to the Power family of Rowan, Haley, and Mary. It was so wonderful. Kim specifically wrote a play that needed to have two folks in quarantine together, and I was like, oh, I know just the siblings to do that. So thanks. And Mary, what were you thinking about?
I was going to say, I'm also interested in the fact that there is writing and we're doing more than just reading. There's more serious sort of thought and acting going into this, but there's not a director. So obviously there's no makeup, there's no costume, there's no set design, but there's no director. And that's also really interesting. And having seen a completely different set of people do my play today versus last time, it was very different. And it was sort of just like completely up to the actors, somewhat in isolation. So it would be interesting to layer in a direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Pauline, and unmute yourself.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was going to say. It was a little strange because you do feel like you're sort of floating in space because you don't get the reactions from people, and also because we didn't really. I mean, I know I had a rehearsal of one of my plays, but we didn't really have a rehearsal and any sort of direction, and I really think that we do need a rehearsal because I think for some reason I think people just felt better this time because they'd already done it.
Sure.
And so I think people felt more confident or a little more free because I always feel like I want to do certain things, but then I'm not sure how that comes across. So it would be nice to have a rehearsal. I mean, when I'm on stage, I usually have a much better idea of how something comes across because I'm just more used to that.
Yeah.
But this is different. I mean, I think everyone did a really great job, but it would be nice. I think maybe if the plays are a little touch longer, it might be nice to have a director and at least one rehearsal.
Yes, where this is kind of moving towards what I think I'm hearing from people, the Lemon Live Microplay Festival, I jumped out there to put something for us to do in early days when we didn't know how long all of this was going to go on and what it would look like. And the whole idea behind this was to be informal and see what you all came up with just putting it out there. And the idea of the prompts, putting a real tight frame. I'm seeing a note that Karen popped into chat. The 200-word limit forced her to explore stage directions separate from the dialogue and to figure out how to use non-spoken suggestions to the actors to enhance the action. So this really was an exercise more than it was a performance, which is why I didn't charge hefty ticket price. But I think as we're settling into this, we're starting to get a taste for the idea of what it would be like to maybe even still with a prompt or leaving it open, but saying, let's do a short play festival where there are directors in this mix and as well. And maybe we put together directors with performers, with plays, and we see what rehearsal looks like, and then we put it up. So I would say stay tuned to your Lemon Punch Theater Lab newsletter, for plans of something like that coming. And if you aren't yet on the newsletter, you will be soon, because I'll be pasting you in there. And if you have any worries that you're not on that newsletter list, you email me. So Haley, I'd love to hear from you.
Oh yeah, so I just wanted to say, as we're talking about all of this, I'd be super interested to see like what kind of blocking we could come up with, because obviously it's a really unusual format, but there's still a lot of stuff we could do that, like, I think you just kind of read everything off, which makes sense because most of the stage directions were still pretty traditional. But I think if we like come up with a new way to do stage directions, and I'm not sure how that would work, but like something about the calls and maybe like artificially putting in technical difficulties, something like that. There's a lot of interesting, unique stuff we could do with that, and I'd love to see that like put into practice.
Yeah, you've heard me mentioning in some of our emails together, and also in the presentation on Tuesday, that I've been fortunate to be playing with Carey and Rachael, who've both been with us today. Rachael wrote and also has been acting, and Carey's been acting. They're part of Theater Kapow, and they've been doing trainings where they're really specifically looking at what does it mean to compose physically as well as for text inside this frame. And I think you're right, Haley, that as writers, we can begin to write in this mode directions that perhaps wouldn't have to be read. So it comes back to Kevin's point about he created this incredibly poignant moment at the end of his play that depended on there being physical presence. And in what way might the playwright and the director find to help the actors perform something like that physically without necessarily having to have a talking head like myself read directions. Let me scan through and see other points, other things someone wanted to bring up today. Kim, I would love to hear your perspective, because you write, you direct, you perform, and I haven't had a chance to hear from you since this all started, how this transition to Zoom theater is going for you.
Oh, you know what? I am just so grateful that you jumped out there and got us started, because again, like you said, we didn't know how long this was going to last, and it's really looking every day like it's going to last much longer than probably we all want it to. So I loved having a prompt to work from that gave me boundaries that I had to fit something in, like a Zoom box, and felt that that was a great place to get started writing again, because honestly, I had the wind had gone a little bit out of my sails in terms of writing and feeling how could I make something happen. So I was delighted that there is this opportunity. And similarly, I can't remember who was saying about layering in directors and some other things as we start to explore the medium some more. I know that would be helpful for me, because this isn't even screen acting. This is a little camera in your dining room. So figuring out how to best serve the pieces, it would help me to have someone seeing what I'm not seeing. But I just have found the whole thing to be so nourishing, right now. So thank you everybody for participating. It really has been delightful.
That is a fabulous, fabulous sentiment. I think nourishing, on which we can bring this to a close. I thank you so much to everyone for participating, and I also want to give a shout out to all of the regional New Hampshire and Massachusetts theaters that have been inspiring me, have been opening their doors with their Zoom doors with different kinds of classes, readings, presentations and trainings. There's been a lot of mutually supportive work that feels really, really good to see in this time. If some of these folks who are taking the initiative in theater were able to organize more things, things might be going better for us. So shout out to all of those directors and organizers and producers who are working so nicely together. I will endeavor to keep folks informed about opportunities I learn about to share with you, as in working with Theater Kapow and New Hampshire Theater Project, in addition to Lemon Punch Theater Lab. And please, for those of you, I met several of you through Elaine Brousseau, and for those of you who came in through interesting directions that I didn't know locally, please feel free to reach out to me at any time if you want to share with us a call from your community or something else that you hear of, or if you want to know what it is that we have going on. I really have treasured this opportunity, and I thank you so much for participating. So give yourselves, please, a huge, huge hand. And for writers and actors, I will be sharing with you the fruits of, once again, I'm going to be uploading a recording of this. It may take me a day and a half, but I will be in touch with you for a link to that if you want to see that. Again, it is very interesting to compare two different performances and see how they grew and changed. Thank you for the thumbs up. So I am going to say thank you, and I'm going to push the stop record now.